Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree. Hello, welcome to Reading to My Dogs. We hope you had a wonderful start to 2025. We're sorry we've been absent, but the reason is we've adopted 2 puppies and I have just had my hands filled with puppy love. Today I'd like to introduce you to Homie and to Cupcake. Homie is the chocolate and white staffy mix that you see. He's enjoying his little piggy bone treat. And we got Homie from a neighbour who had purchased him from a backyard breeder over the Christmas period. After having Homie for a week, they decided they didn't want him because they had 3 children who were very small and they weren't coping with a puppy and 3 children under the age of 5. So we ended up adopting Homie. I told them I would take him, but I would not give him back. So we did adopt him. We took him to the vet. The vet said he's very healthy. He has been vaccinated and microchipped, and he is going to be a large dog. Cupcake is our beautiful little tan Chihuahua Staffy Terrier mix, and she was rescued from near Halls Creek in the Kimberleys. When she was found, she was critically ill. She weighed less than 800 grams. She was dehydrated, emaciated, and covered in ticks and fleas, and she also had ringworm. She was started on antibiotics straight away to combat the tick virus, and she was nursed back to health by a kind worker in the Kimberleys. After she was more stable and healthy, the Cane people, which is the Kimberley Animals, Nature and Education Incorporated, fostered her for 2 weeks. Good girl, Cupcake. Hello, darling. They fostered her for 2 weeks and took care of her. They took care of her until she was big enough and healthy enough to come back to me here in Perth. So a big shout out to Cane. If you would like to know more about Cane, it's spelled Kane, and I will put up their little information page. But Cane rescue and care for any native mammal, for any bird or reptile in the East Kimberley, and they will also rehome domestic pets. So if you need to rehome a pet, then they will help rehome your pet into a loving home. And if you are looking to support somebody, I highly recommend making a donation to Cane because they help a lot of animals up in the wild. So Cupcake was sent to me from the Kimberleys. She was actually from near Halls Creek, and they sent her down. I have had her microchipped, vaccinated. She too is a healthy puppy. Hey, Homie, what you doing, baby? You sit down. Come on, be a good boy. Come on, Homie, be a good boy. So I did take her to the vet, and so she is now a healthy 7.2 kilos, and she has come a long way from when she was rescued. So today, while the puppies are wandering around the bed, thought I would perhaps cover a little bit of Australian communication style and some of our slang. So when it comes to Australian communication style, Australians have a very direct yet friendly style of communication. We will speak honestly, casually and informally. Come on, you two. Come on, be good. And you sit. You sit. Good doggies. So we will talk to you in an informal manner, but we are always respectful. Slang and humour, often self-deprecating, are a big part of how Aussies speak, and it's woven into our daily conversations. I'm just going to cover some of the more common Australian expressions and phrases that you might want to know if you ever come to visit in Australia. The most important one being brekkie. That's the same as breakfast. You know, when people go, oh, you want to go for brekkie? Well, if you want to go to breakfast. So you want to go to brekkie? Yes, I want to go to brekkie. That means you want breakfast. Arvo means in the afternoon. See you this arvo. That means I will see you this afternoon. The next one could be no worries, no dramas, no wuckers. That means no problem. Yeah, no worries, mate. That means that's not a problem. And another word that you might like means you beauty, which means terrific. You beauty, that's great, that's terrific. So another slang phrase you might want to know. Another phrase might be good on ya, which means well done. You know, we might say, oh look, I got top of my class in school this year. Well, good on ya, that's great. So good on ya, well done. Another important one, which all Australians know, is to chuck a sickie. If you chuck a sickie, it means you're calling in sick for whether work or school, but you're chucking a sickie, that means you're calling in sick for the day. So another one is the word reckon, and that means to think or agree with. So you might say, yeah, I reckon I might go to the pub this afternoon. That's the same as, yeah, I think I might go to the pub this afternoon. And the person might respond with, yeah, I reckon so. I agree with that. So I reckon so. I'm going to go to the pub with you this afternoon. Another word you might like to know is cuppa. That's short for a cup of tea. Oh, I'm dying for a cuppa. Doesn't always have to be tea. Sometimes you might want a coffee. But the slang is still the same. You want a cuppa? A cup of tea. I'm dying for a cuppa. Another good word that we love to use is snag. It means a sausage. You have put another snag on the barbie and we'll put a sausage on the barbecue. It means you like sausages. Potato is often called a spud. And vegetables, of course, we call veggies. Now, there's this word called bloody, and bloody initially was considered a swear in the early part of our language growth, but now it's deemed more as an adjective for very, as in it's bloody hot today. It's very hot today. So, take it as it will. In the olden days, bloody was considered a swear, but now it's more of a describing adjective. Another piece of slang you might like is when people say they are chockers. Chockers or chock-a-block. That means you are full or it's busy. It can be used both ways. So after dinner, somebody might say, would you like some dessert? Would you like a pie? You might go, no thanks, I'm chockers. That means I'm full and I couldn't eat anything more. Or somebody might say, oh, I went down to the supermarket and it was chock-a-block. That means super busy. So chockers, chock-a-block. And another one I think I might teach you is the word devo, which is short for devastated. Someone might be, and it can be used in the ways like, oh, so how did you feel about that? Oh, devo. I was devoed, man. Devastated. So devo is devastated. There's so much more Australian slang I could teach you, and I will do a follow-up video in next we'll do follow-up of Australian slang part 2. We hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope your billy always boils. And thanks for joining us today on Reading to My Dogs.